A webinar on machine learning, deep learning, hands-on experiments. RDBS Geeta Deep Enterprises. In association with Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering, Ichokaranji. Sponsored by Institution of Electronics and Telecommunication Engineers.
Welcome to Day 6 MLDL webinar. Till now we have discussed regarding VGG16 model, its modification, the MNIST data processing, CIFAR10 data processing. Now we are going to discuss what is meant by RNN as another type of a network in deep learning approaches. So let's see what is the difference between CNN and RNN with respect to applications considered.
So let's begin with the discussion on convolutional neural networks and recurrent neural networks. So as basically we have seen, convolutional neural networks are suitable for spatial type of data such as images. So images contains spatial data. Well, here pronunciation you can go for spatial, whatever you want. Well, I call this spatial because it is better to differentiate between regular spatial word and spatial word here. So spatial means the objects which are present in terms of a space within the image. So if we compare the object in that image only, it becomes a spatial kind of thing. Now suppose we are thinking about a video sequence, and if we try to compare objects from two different frames, then it becomes a temporal thing. So here you can understand basically what is spatial. Well, it is very hard to elaborate this word in terms of a practical considerations point of view. But as far as experienced knowledge is concerned, till now I was considering the objects within different frames. When we want to recognize, it becomes a temporal comparative analysis. And when we want to recognize objects within the same frame only, it becomes a spatial comparative analysis. So most of the time in applications of medical image processing such as breast cancer detection, liver cancer detection, brain tumor detection, or kidney tumor detection, all these things are coming under spatial processing. So most of the time spatial features are extracted using Gabor filter banks in machine learning principles. As we are discussing today deep learning, we are not going to get into depth of that. So next to that, it is more powerful than RNN just because it is focusing on more features compared to recurrent neural networks. So as we know that while recognizing particular object, even if we go for a cat has different types of characteristics. Its design on the skin or its body structure. Even different cats are having different body structures. Or different dogs are having different body structures. Or suppose we go for bulldog, that dog has particular body structure, but it comes under dog category. If we go for Doberman, it has different body structure. If we go for a Labrador, then there is a variety of dogs. So they have their independent characteristics, their own characteristics, based on which the identification should be followed. And for all these kind of things, CNNs are more powerful. Next to that, again, we have already seen VGG16 model for classification of 1000 types of classes. So if you take a look on the literature available on the internet, you may see that the VGG16 is specially constructed to classify 1000 classes of different animals. And in those animals, there are minimum 3 types of varieties considered for particular animal. So as like we have discussed regarding dog types, there are 3 types of dogs considered while considering VGG16 performances. So this way how CNN is more powerful than RNN. Next to that, this network takes fixed size inputs and generates fixed size outputs. So configuration becomes easy when we are considering input images in terms of CNN configuration. So feed-forward artificial neural network with various types of multilayer perceptrons designed to use minimal amounts of pre-processing. So as we have seen from first experiment, we can directly use the image data to feed to network by converting simply into array format, or we can also go for pre-processing such as extracting features and then feeding them to the network in 2D format, or converting particular color image into grayscale, because if you are not intended to get into the colors of the object in the region of interest, then it may happen that you may not be in the need of having three-dimensional processing. So 3 channels in the input data can be converted into 1 channel input data. So here the minimum amount of pre-processing concept is been considered. Also, as far as we are concerned with medical image applications, X-ray images or MRI images, most of the time those are simply the gray shades. Though MRI are having a requirement of some slicing processing, as far as we are concerned with a particular MRI. So taking a particular slice can be a requirement of a pre-processing. But once the slice is taken, only that sliced image or frame has to be processed inside a CNN. So this way the minimal amount of pre-processing statement means for. Next to that, CNN use connectivity pattern between the neurons. This is inspired by the organization of animal visual cortex, whose individual neurons are arranged in such a way that they respond to overlapping regions, tiling the visual field. So here you can consider the binocular vision aspect, or simply the panoramic effect of observing a particular area. And you might have been used a panorama system in your mobile phone camera also, so you can better understand what the meaning of this statement is. Next to that, CNNs are ideal for image and video processing. So all these things are concluding remarks for image and video applications of CNN. Next to that, RNN is suitable for temporal data, where sequential data is required to be fed. So temporal data means there is a variety of things we have to consider, including less features compatibility when compared to CNN. So as far as text processing is concerned, suppose we take one example, that finding out the common things between the two texts. So in that case, RNN can work better compared to CNN. In betterment point of view, CNN is always better because it will focus on the maximum number of features. But RNN is less complex compared to CNN as far as text processing is concerned. That's why we require only less amount of features, such as syntactic features, structural features of the sentence, kind of. So hence RNN is considered for text applications. So again, can handle arbitrary input or output lengths. So the statement may not be having a same kind of a length. Suppose I am here providing presentation on CNN RNN is the one statement, and my friend is there at his home trying to observe the things that I am trying to present. These two statements, if we want to compare to each other, the number of words in these two statements are different. So as compared to CNN, as already we have seen, whatever the 60,000 images we have processed from CIFAR10 datasets or MNIST dataset, all those are to be having fixed dimensional data. Here that variation is possible to be taken in as an input. Next to that, unlike feed-forward neural network, these RNNs can use their internal memory to process arbitrary sequence of inputs. So just like as we have seen, as discussed right now, this is the main cause. Next to that, RNNs are useful for time series information, where user spoke last will impact what he or she will speak next. So as far as predictions are concerned, in case of speech processing, speech recognition, and predicting particular user's thought process while speaking, in such applications RNNs are better applicable. Also, we can consider one example here for recommendation systems. You might have observed if you have visited Amazon shopping app. If one time you are trying to search for particular class of products, suppose you are going for electric toaster, then next time cooking electric appliances are suggested for you when you are next time visiting Amazon app. So this way the Amazon app is connected with recurrent neural network platform, and it is collecting your search information based on which it predicts that user may be in the need of similar kind of a kitchen utensils, electrical appliances, and hence next time it recommends you to look into such a kind of a products. So this way how RNNs are applicable. So these are concluding remarks that it is applicable for text and speech analysis type of things. So as far as speech analysis is concerned, we are again processing speech signals. So here we can simply say that signal processing applications are also being considered in RNN applications, such as vibration analysis, bearing fault analysis using vibration signals, EEG signals, ECG signals, or EMG signals. All these come under RNN for deep learning based approaches. So here is the diagrammatic illustration into which input frame is first converted into output estimated features using CNN, just like VGG16. And next to that classification using Bayesian classifiers. So one can consider this classification using predefined classifiers such as Bayesian, k-nearest neighbor, decision tree type of classifiers. Another aspect can be that classifiers can also be consisting of a neural network platform, deep neural network. So in that case, RNNs can be used simply for classification and feature extraction can be done by CNN. Yesterday we have seen the modification of last 3 layers by replacing our new 4 layers for the classification purpose in the modification of VGG16. So in the similar fashion, here we can see that VGG16 itself can be used for feature extraction and RNN simply for classification. So this way the entire network can be considered as a combination of the two for one of the applications in video or image processing. Next to that, RNNs, recurrent neural networks, use an architecture that is not similar to the traditional neural network. The difference is that RNN introduces the concept of memory and it exists in the form of a different type of link. Unlike a feed-forward neural network, the output of some layers are fed back into the inputs of a previous layer. So this is where the memory block works. Well, in addition, it allows analysis of sequential data, which is something that the traditional neural network is incapable of. Neural networks are limited to a fixed length input, whereas the RNN has no such a restriction, as we have discussed this already. Next to that, links between layers in the reverse direction allows feedback loops. So these feedbacks are responsible to improve the performance and learning capabilities of the neural networks. Next to that, deep learning application, it depends very much on the requirement and the data. So next to that, on time series data that contains repeated patterns, the RNN is able to recognize and take advantage of the time related context. Means suppose seasonal sale of the products, if you want to consider for the analysis and feature extraction and classification for predicting the next response to the next type of products required by the customers. In such a case, season or festival based analysis where the time series is very much important aspect, it can be considered and implemented using RNNs. Next to that, more weight patterns and previous and following tokens are recognized as opposed to being evaluated in isolation. So changing the weights means like embedding layers, for example, we can consider here embedding layer which plays important role in recurrent neural network, which is a predefined strategy while extracting features, is the main advantage that can be used in RNN constructions. Next to that, consider a system that is learning to recognize spoken language. Such a system would benefit greatly by taking into account recently spoken words to predict the next sentence. So, as already we have seen, the thought process of a particular user can be understood by using such a networks. One of the type we can consider that's a LSTM, long short-term memory network. This type of RNN that is capable of learning long-term relationships. If, for example, the prediction of the next word in an autocomplete task is dependent on context from much earlier in the sentence or paragraph, then LSTM is designed to assist with us with such an application. LSTM have also achieved success in acoustic modeling and part of speech task. So again here Alexa or OK Google products you might have seen in the market. These are associated with such a LSTM products to predict sometimes if the noisy word is been spoken by particular user, what the word could have been spoken that particular user is the main prediction required in these applications. RNNs come in different varieties that are also typically dependent on the task. So the varieties can be considered as a one-to-one, which is informally known as a vanilla RNN. This variety has one input such as a word or an image and outputs a single token such as a word or a boolean value. So here simply the class level it gives output. Next to that, one-to-many, where one input is used to create several outputs. In such a case, if you say rain, then connectivity graph analysis we can consider as an implementation of RNN. So if you say rain, it will say umbrella or flood or news associated with floods or similar kind of things. Next to that, many to one, where several inputs are used to create a single output. So if you give input flood, umbrella, raincoat kind of things input to this, it will connect everything to rain and provide this particular class output. Many to many means many input to many output. So you might have understood the different classes used in RNN types. So diagrammatic presentation we can consider as input is given 1 and output 1 in one-to-one. In one-to-many, the feature extraction and splitting takes place because of which the connection graphs are established and many outputs are taken out. Many to one means many input are taken where features are combined and reduced to get finally the one class. In many to many inputs are taken, features are again expanded and then combined to get many output, or simply input to output similar dimension maintaining in many to many. So last two many to many have little difference that in feature extraction it expands the input data. Next to that, RNN is applied successfully in many types of tasks. Some of these include image classification, where an image is examined and a single determination is made, such as daytime picture versus nighttime picture. This is an example of one-to-one mapping. Next to that, fox jumping over dog. Suppose this is the action. So caption is being given for this, automatically captioning. So this task requires one-to-many RNN, where the input in a single image and the output is a phrase consisting of several words. This can be the one of the applications considered for captioning of the image. So this is one of the research area ongoing in these days for the blind people. Whatever the image is in front of them, till now it was considered as a text reader only, but if it contains particular image, then converting that image contents into a particular story form or captioning form, that kind of application is considered in particular one-to-many configurations of RNN. Next to that, time series predictions such as forecasting of stock price given a history of values. Well, this is simply the consideration of application. Predicting stock prices in upcoming time does not depend only on the history of values. It has variety of aspects, but as far as time series data is concerned, we are taking into the example. So in such application, many to one is to be considered. Next to that, written text or spoken words of one language serves as input and different language representing the same text is output. So for the translation applications, many to many we can consider. Next to that, natural language processing such as sentiment analysis in social media posts, Twitter, Facebook posts, analyzing the sentiment. Next to that, RNN may be of type many to one or many to many for such applications. Sentiment positive negative type of application, then single output will be required because binary, either 0 will be considered as a negative or 1 as a positive in such a application. Next to that, sentiment is more complex to be recognized, positive and funny, negative and angry, negative and funny. Such a 3 means multi-class classifications, then many to many implementation is required. Text classification and sentence completion application can be considered. RNN is used broadly in text classification, outperforming other well-known algorithms such as SVM, because SVM has a limitation in terms of learning capabilities. Next to that, segmented handwriting recognition and speech recognition systems have also been successfully implemented using RNNs. So recently we have completed one experiment using MNIST data for handwritten digits, which was been recognized and classified into 10 different classes using our own defined model. Well, if we replace that using RNN, it will work much faster compared to CNN, because simply limited number of features are required to be recognized while recognizing the handwritten text or speech recognition. Here, update in gated recurrent unit is one of the type of RNN. Here, update gate is introduced to decide whether to pass previous output to next cell or not. So decision making is taken. Next to that, forget data is nothing but traditional mathematical operations with a new set of weights. So here we can illustrate it in terms of a diagram. Well, these equations are simply for the understanding purpose. There is no possible way till now, as far as I have gone through a variety of literature, that there is no possible way to deduce particular operation happening inside a neural network in terms of mathematical equations, because it is totally concerned with the design of a equivalent to human brain activities. So as one cannot predict what is happening inside a brain, we cannot write in terms of a mathematical equation. And in the similar way, for neural network strategy applications, we cannot represent everything into mathematical equations. If it is feasible to represent mathematical equation format for particular learning and output, then obviously there is no need to go for neural network platform. You simply have to write a program to execute those mathematical equations and you will get definitely the output that is desired. So that is the difference actually one has to understand while considering mathematical formats. Long short-term memory unit is the one of the next type of RNN. Here 2 more gates are introduced in GRU, which are forget and output. Again, as above, these are traditional mathematical operations on same inputs. So overall, LSTM has introduced 2 math operations having 2 new sets of weights. So weight modification and then updating the output is the main approach in LSTM. So this is the diagrammatic presentation and mathematical illustration, which may not be able to define actual model characteristics, but a little bit for understanding purpose, these are the mathematical terms used. So here we can see the neural network layer, then pointwise operation, then vector transfer, then concatenating 2 outputs and then copying them to expand into the terms of feature and then getting the actual output. So this diagram can illustrate better the LSTM structure, where all these walls controlled by particular person are responsible to control flow from every pipe. If there is only one wall connected to all the pipes, then it may happen that there is a less control in the output when these pipes are going to connect at the output side. So while mixing different types of chemicals in one particular tank, this flow level or the flow speed is responsible to control the amount of mixture happening at a particular time instant. So these walls are set at a particular level to get desired output in terms of mixing levels. So if there are A, B, C, D types of chemicals, then A will have ratio A as to B as to C as to D. If it is a 3 as to 8 as to 2 as to 9 kind of a mixture required, then in such a cases we have to control the outputs by controlling these walls. So this wall structure is similar to LSTM network model. So for the sake of practical understanding, we are considering this image. So why memory considerations? Basically, recurrent neural networks suffer from short-term memory. If a sequence is long enough, they will have a hard time carrying information from earlier time steps to later ones. So if you are trying to process a paragraph of text to do predictions, RNNs may leave out important information from the beginning. Next to that, during backpropagation, recurrent neural networks suffer from the vanishing gradient problem. So by considering these three statements combinedly, I would like to explain that whenever we define particular neural network platform to platform for particular application, there are two main processes. First is the training, second is the testing. In training, we have to define the learning rate. This learning rate totally depends on the gradient value. The gradient is nothing but the error in desired output and actual output. This error is been minimized by learning new things by extracting new features. So this way how the neural network platform works. And if gradient is very much low in value, then in such a problem, in backpropagation operation of recurrent neural network, the learning is not done properly because gradient is very low. If gradient is high, then only learning should be done. That is what the strategy. Gradient means error. So by using this strategy, neural network suffers. It never learns particularly to become or improve the accuracy. So gradients are values used to update a neural network weights. The vanishing gradient problem is when the gradient shrinks as it back propagates through time. If a gradient value becomes extremely small, it doesn't contribute too much learning. And that's why learning capability becomes limited. So though it becomes a simply practice, but not the performance oriented practice for the learning. So new weight is equal to weight minus learning rate into gradient is the main equation considered while defining particular learning capability of the neural network. So update value is 0.001, which is the learning rate. And if gradient is very much less, then 0.001 is the approximated value considered, and hence there is no much difference in previous value and next value. And that's why the learning is insufficient to improve the accuracy. So in recurrent neural networks, layers that get a small gradient update stops learning. Those are usually the earlier layers. So because these layers don't learn, RNNs can forget what it's seen in longer sequences, thus having a short memory. So this is what memory concern regarding RNN. So in total, we can conclude what we can which type of neural network we can consider for the application. CNN, image and video due to more detailed analysis of data, more detailed features we get. In RNN, we can consider text data. GRU LSTM, improvement over RNN results with more control on processing. So as like gradient vanishing problem can be overcome by GRU and further overcome by LSTM. So by considering these concluding remarks, first scope for considering neural network is if we combine CNN, RNN together, combinations to get better results in terms of features with respect to application. Means CNN can be combined with RNN, RNN for classification, CNN for feature extraction, and hence better results compared to traditional machine learning algorithms we can get. Classification again with respect to class type and number of classes with respect to complexity of data as combination of different models. So one to many, many to one to one. These models can again be considered while considering classification process when we are trying to combine CNN with RNN. So this was enough for discussing CNN, RNNs and their comparative study and what the RNNs actually mean and are meant for particular applications. I think this much discussion is enough for today. Tomorrow we are going to see the experimentation again. So we will run few more codes.
So this is how CNN and RNN are different in terms of applications point of view. So as far as you are concerned with video and image processing, CNN are the better options. Well, you can combine RNNs for classification stage. Also, LSTM can also play important role when you are concerned with identifying particular disease from medical image applications in leaf disease identification systems or even face sentiment analysis type of applications. So here we complete for today's session.